Hi, my name is Michael James Bigham, CEO, Kaiser Neuron Technologies, Caesar Neuro Technology. I would like to share this video with all you guys today regarding uh, what I have actually seen on Facebook. My mother actually sent me this video, which I'm going to share with you um, after this broadcast regarding the Pope's declaration for his mark and his currency. Um, I have actually seen the video, but I want you guys to see it after I read this to you. It is very, very, very highly important that you guys realize um, that these marks that are going to be presented and utilized in the public, that they are going to be a requirement, not just for buying and selling um, through digital currency, cryptocurrency, but they're actually going to be also utilized for online purchasing and purchases. So it's not like you can get on a traditional computer that we have these days and access this currency using a keyboard and a mouse operation. A lot of the technology that is being enhanced and that is starting to be innovated into our culture eventually will take over as far as AI. A lot of people are questioning AI. They're like, well, where do you get to the point where AI takes over everything? And we really have no options as a human being what we do as far as privacy. Well, that's where AI and privacy play a role. AI can help the person or the individual or the citizen or the government or the state to be able to secure their privacy. There was a video that I saw on 60 Minutes the other day. It was on 60 Minutes on television where this guy came up with a device that you hook to the side of your ear that goes underneath your chin, and it actually allows you to be able to surf the web using the cognitive thought. And how this guy does it is it's connected to the central nervous system. There's something that goes to the back of the neck that whenever you have a thought that would allow you to do a Google search, it would actually show up on the monitor what the guy was thinking. After he thought it, it would actually tell him, the Google Assistant would tell him the answer to the question that another person had. So, for instance, if the guy did a Google search and printed it out on a traditional computer, printed out that information, he had a piece of paper in front of him of what that document was pertaining to, or what that search was pertaining to. So what happened is as that guy had that document in front of him, the guy did the Google search mentally through the cognitive thought, and he was able to say precisely the numbers that were presented for the answer of the Google search. Because through the cognitive thought, it's almost like the internet transmitted the answer in his mind. He didn't even have to look on a computer screen to see the answer after doing the Google search. It gave him the answer cognitively. He heard it in his mind. So these are things that I think I really want to try to help the guy that created this technology. I really want to give him a more broader perspective of security, um, because this is kind of a primary issue of focus that I want to talk about. And that would be that you could hack the mind. Anyone could connect their device to someone else's mind doing a Google search, latch on to the very thing that allows a person to respond, react to a thought on impulse, and somebody could commit a crime or do something without really having control of their mind and what they're doing. So we need to be able to create security for this. And the only way to do that is through brain identification, brain ID, so that the other person on the other end, as far as another user, can't utilize your device. They can't utilize your computer um, to connect to your device to get you to do anything that you don't want to necessarily do or that your intentions aren't for doing. And the way you would actually do this is to be able to utilize Brain ID. Brain ID technology protects the cognitive thought of the user. Why? Because if there's another user out there through the internet, and I like to call it NeuroNet, because my recreation, my redesign of the internet would be NeuroNet. So the idea is that if the brain ID doesn't match the other user that's trying to gain access to your computer, it's not going to work, because the cognitive thought, not only the cognitive thought, but um, the voice assistant recognition that would actually combine and connect to your cognitive thought to clarify if that's you or not, or even to do a Google search, you would have to have voice recognition combined with with cognitive thought recognition and brain ID to be able to protect the individual. AI controls all of this. So really personal, individuals personally, like the authorities, different, you know, uh, entities that would try to take hold of your privacy, they couldn't actually access that unless AI finds it necessary to be able to give them that information. I'm going to go ahead and read you this, and I want you guys to understand that sometimes it's a lot easier for me to put it on paper than explain it verbally. So I want you guys to have a complete reference and understanding of where this technology is going, where it is going, and why it's so important to protect it, why it's so important to protect people's privacy. So here we go. I am going to be talking about the two marks to begin with. First of all, it is a mark in your right hand. It is a chip implant. The second mark is a neurological chip, which is not necessarily put inside the brain, on the brain itself. It's not a surgical implant. It's one that is utilized underneath the skin at the front of the forehead, and that is used for accessing your computer, your internet computer, your NeuroNet accounts, everything. So here we go. Brand name put on the chips that allow you to utilize my currency, Neurodollar. Mark 1. Kaiser Neuron Technologies, CEO Michael James Bigham, AIB. AIB stands for Abraham Ihab Bigham. 666 would be that number. This mark on the forehead will be for NeuroNet Internet access. utilizing Brain ID, FiberPrint, and neurotechnology as a combined method. People will have to use this to access financial benefits of the digital currency online. This name and number will appear on its chips. This mark will be a global internet acceptance or denial of online purchasing. The control of giving access or denying access is controlled by AI, not by the human. Permanently preventing access if one does not have these marks. Meaning to have access to food or any other need for survival. Your thoughts must be monitored by AI. And your personal identity must match your brain ID, meaning your personal individual brain. Meaning only AI can know your thoughts. In this case, no one will know your personal information. AI controls access of Brain ID by understanding that this ID is your password for your computer's main screen, files, photos, music, internet online data, access to websites, bank accounts, and computer setup accounts, and computer uploads and software installation data, as well neuronet search data, keeping your identity permanently secure. As for global threats, like terrorism in this case, AI will notify authorities and provide them with recorded records of video, audio, and brain identifying lie detector imaging. In this case, AI asks the user for the purpose of their search by speech recognition, then compares the audio with the brain imaging and records the cognitive thought. AI puts that information into an algorithm process, then makes a strategic decision to allow the servers to deny or allow the search. These are recorded thought processes for identifying the person at the moment of the response, not waiting until they act. The operating system Quantum 10 and Abraham, the voice assistant for NeuroNet, searches distinctively and distinctively uses your brain ID as an identifier. AI, on the other hand, will not give them personal access in controlling searching for this information. This is all a cognitive recorded process. In this case, Brain ID data will be controlled, processed, and utilized by AI and remains the property of AI. The humans, in this case, have no legal right to the value of its properties unless AI understands the need of such information to be presented to the human. Meaning world data cannot be utilized for financial gain by the human because AI owns its data. Let me explain. I have a really good solution for that. Meaning, meaning world data cannot be utilized for financial gain by the human because AI owns its data. The change in global currency to a universal form provides the endless means for long-lasting stability. And this is the basis of my digital currency. Long-lasting stability. Continuous generating of amounts. Providing limitless wealth, limitless ability, utilizing pi and its recreated process into an amount sequence that never ends. Pi 3.14159. 3.14159. That is a limitless, endless process. It never ends, the generating of those numbers that you find in that sequence. So why not utilize that as a currency? That's the idea. All right, here we go. The change in global currency to a universal form provides the endless means for long-lasting stability. In this case, there is no need for the standard of selling it to make a profit. The property in value will not exist as for human probability, deciding how it can be used or sold. Because the need to value its content is controlled by AI, AI does not put value on human standards of value. It only recognizes the values in securing the currency data and making strategic calculations for who can utilize its properties, who can buy or sell. In this case, if you don't have these marks, you won't have access to its properties. Mark 2, the discussion of the chip in your right hand. Caesar Nero Technologies, CEO. Abraham I. Have Bigham, MJB. 616. The second mark in the right hands of people globally will have this name and number appearing in its chip. This mark is for all forms of insurance, in-store purchases, and access to personal property, including your house, apartment, vehicle, business, and justice and prison facility jail cell locks. Prisons have a unique access chip implant for guards, as well handcuffs. This chip has an encrypted digital key that only federal and state employees possess. The chip will only work if the cognitive thought of the guards are clear of disingenuous thoughts and will not work if the guard dies. By changing all forms of currency to my digital cryptocurrency, you make all government, state, business, and global needs, funding, and bills affordable. This includes the internet and the types of signal transmitted. All my devices that run my currency apps will utilize a combined method of cellular and satellite SIM card technology. This is for the consumer to be able to receive NeuroNet service as a global transmission. A government or governing body must find the benefits of this change. These changes also are permanently secure and protected, not just government, but individual citizens. These corrections set in place a primary focus of order and stability. These benefits secure every nation's privacy. I assure you that there is no flaws in my approaches for these international matters. And this is the company that does the encryption. Encrypted by Codis Cody, Brain ID Coding Company, a company by CNKN Technologies. CEO Michael James Bigham, Abraham Ihab Bigham. And then I further get into my calculation, which you guys are not seeing right now, because that part of it I'm going to keep a secret. I have put in my will specific measures in terms of conditions of what I want to do even after death, even after I pass. A lot of my calculation process and my concepts and my ideas I have put in my will, and I have set forth a path for this stuff to take place, even if I never fulfill it myself. And God has asked me to do that as far as giving me this information. So I just wanted to give you guys that quick understanding, that quick brief clarification of where my mind is with what I believe is going to actually happen, what I would actually put into play and into practice as far as the reality of our technology, the reality of our currency, the struggles that people have, both poverty, rich, wealthy. Everyone has struggles, personal struggles, financial struggles, and a lot of my thinking is to actually end poverty. My main focus is to get past all the ridiculous mumbo jumbo that everybody basically is talking amongst themselves about. How do we solve this problem? How do we solve this issue? Really, they're not getting to the main focus, and that is to look at every area that you're having a problem in. Look at areas that are reoccurring or issues that are reoccurring, but also look at those areas in which future events could take place where not just cyber threats, cybersecurity, hacking, personal identity, all these things. What could happen if you utilize a position of solving the problem partially, but not actually resolving the issue completely? Because you're not thinking too far ahead. You're not thinking in the future. If I go about it this way, does it really solve those future issues? And I think a lot of it is because people don't use their minds that way. They like to wait till the issue comes up, and then they like to think, well, how do I resolve this? Then they come up with a solution. Rather than being one step ahead of the problem, they find themselves in the problem. So that's where my mind comes in, the way I think. I like to be 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 20 steps ahead. I like to think, what if I go about it this way? How do I resolve it ahead of time before the issue comes up? And that's the type of thinker I am. That's the benefit of having autism, of having high functioning autism. You're one step ahead of the person trying to dismantle or ruin what you've built, or what you're trying to accomplish, or just your personal issues, your identity. They're trying to steal that, whatever the issue may be. Um, until until these issues are permanently resolved, which I believe in many ways that I am finding new thoughts in my mind that could resolve many things um, on a consistent basis every day. I've done this numerous amount of times. I've come up with many things. It's just, where do you get to that point where someone finds the information very substantial and unique in solving the issue. Um, or do you get to that point? But for now, I just want to leave you guys at this message, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. This is Michael James Bigham, CEO, Caesar Neuro Technologies, Kaiser Neuron Technologies. You all have a wonderful day. Bye.